Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in today's video, we're going to be previewing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Week 8 matchup versus the Tennessee Titans. So guys, without further ado, let's talk about it. Let's get the big thing out of the way first. The Buccaneers are coming off of a bye week, a much needed bye week at that. Since the game before the bye week versus the Carolina Panthers in London, the Buccaneers did not look good. It is the second game that they had lost in a row. First, they lost to the New Orleans Saints, and then they lost to the Carolina Panthers in London. So it was a much needed bye week. The team got a little bit of rest, especially in this very long road trip that they have had. It's almost over. They play the Tennessee Titans and then they play the Seattle Seahawks. But yeah, a lot of people needed this bye week. The coaching staff needed the bye week to just figure some things out about their team. Jameis Winston needed the bye week to just make a bounce back from the horrible game that he had versus the Carolina Panthers. Vernon Hargreaves needed the bye week because he's been struggling for a little bit as well. Just a lot of players and a lot of people in the Buccaneers organization needed that bye week. So with the bye week done and gone, the Buccaneers are now looking to rebound in this game versus the Tennessee Titans. Speaking of rebounding, one of the biggest questions on Buccaneers fans' minds is Jameis Winston going to be able to rebound from his terrible game that he had versus the Carolina Panthers? This is probably one of the most important games for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. Not just because the difference between winning and losing is the difference between a 3-4 record and a 2-5 record, but because how Jameis Winston bounces back from this game can really determine how he's going to do for the rest of the season. You know, what kind of Jameis are we going to see? Are we going to see him rise to the occasion versus the Titans, or are we going to see him, fall and crumble down and resort to a Jameis Winston of old type of thing? It was not a good look versus the Carolina Panthers, and Jameis needs to have a good game. I cannot stress that enough. He needs to have a good game versus the Tennessee Titans. It cannot be stressed enough. So look for Jameis Winston to rebound in this game. How will he do? Will he rise up to the occasion or will he fall? Pay attention to that. Next thing I want to talk about is Tennessee Titans quarterback Marcus Mariota has been benched in favor of backup quarterback, former Miami Dolphins starting quarterback Ryan Tannehill, who is now the new starter for this team. It seems like he's going to be the starter for the rest of the season, or at least for the foreseeable future. And it's unfortunate because I made the prediction before the season started that this was probably going to be the last time that Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston played each other on their original teams, and I don't even get that because Marcus Mariota got benched. And how weird is it to see Marcus Mariota getting benched before Jameis Winston, especially considering Marcus Mariota's career path so far up to this point has had a lot more wins when compared to Jameis Winston's career path. So very interesting. I know there were scenarios where Jameis Winston was getting benched last year on and off, and we're not going to dive into that one, but it's just very interesting that the Titans were the first team to make the move and say, yeah, we're not gonna, Marcus Mariota is probably not gonna be our guy. Very interesting to see the Titans be the first team to make that move out of both these teams. You would figure it would be the opposite, but it's not the case. Jameis Winston, he's not playing Mariota anymore. It's sad to see. It probably would have been the last time the number 1 and number 2 overall picks from the 2015 NFL draft were gonna play each other with their original teams. I fully expect Marcus Mariota to be on another team next year, and Jameis Winston, we are obviously still going to have to wait and see. But it's unfortunate. Ryan Tannehill, I will say, he is no slouch. He is, one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league. He really should be a starter for a team. The guy has been a starter for years with the Miami Dolphins, and I think he was pretty underrated. He did not have a lot of good players around him when he was in Miami. I think he would have done wonderful if he had been traded to a team like the Chicago Bears this year, or another team along those lines that just has a really good core of players around him. So Ryan Tannehill, he does have a good core of players around him right now, both on the offensive and defensive sides of those balls. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Ryan Tannehill does. I know people have that stigma of, the Buccaneers, they give up so much to backup quarterbacks. And really, the quarterbacks that the Buccaneers have played so far this year, like Teddy Bridgewater, should probably be a starting quarterback in this league. And you can, ultimately say the same thing about Ryan Tannehill. So I get that they're technically backup quarterbacks, but are they really? I really don't think so. I think Ryan Tannehill is heavily underrated. He should be a starter in this league, and, we should definitely keep an eye on him in this game and see how he does. Finally, guys, the last thing I want to talk about is JPP potentially returning to the team. Now, if you guys have been following all the news and whatnot on Twitter and on Instagram, you will see that, Jason Pierre-Paul, he's been doing some practices. He's been, really going hard, really going in, and it seems like there's no lingering side effects from his neck injury that he suffered way back in, I believe, April due to a car crash, and it seems like he's coming back in, he's practicing in full, and he's not showing any lingering side effects. And they've asked Bruce Arians about this, and they've said, Bruce Arians has said, oh yeah, he's going in full, he is, really going out there and practicing in full pads and whatnot, and he's looked good. So, we're gonna have to wait and see if he plays against the Tennessee Titans. He does not count for the roster right now. They have not activated him from whatever list he was on, so he's technically not on the roster right now, but there is still some open roster spots there with Devontae Bond being released, and if they needed to, they could open up another spot if they needed to. But the point I'm trying to make is that if JPP does return in this game, that is so huge for the Buccaneers pass rush. It's huge for JPP because coming back from just, first off, he blew off his hand with a fireworks accident, and that's just an absolutely incredible comeback. And then you pile on a neck injury, which not a lot of players can come back from neck injuries. And JPP's response to that question when it was asked to him was, well, not a lot of players come back from blowing off their hand either. So JPP, he's an absolute warrior. We saw what he could do for the Buccaneers last year with 12.5 sacks. Last guy to get double-digit sacks since Simeon Rice back in 2005. I know some people said Michael Bennett. He did not get 10 sacks. He got 9. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is JPP, him coming back and pairing him up with Carl Nassib, who a lot of people like. He had 6 sacks last year, and Shaq Barrett, who has 9 sacks this year, and that's just your outside pass rushing linebackers. Then you got to factor in Ndamukong Suh, Vita Vea, William Golston. He's going to be such a huge addition to this Buccaneers front seven, and you still have to also factor in Levante David and Devin White rushing in the middle as pass rushing interior linebackers. So it would be such a huge boost. It would add such another dynamic layer to the Buccaneers front seven. Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles have been raving about JPP all week. They're saying that his leadership alone makes him insanely valuable to the organization right now. Just having him on that practice field, he doesn't even have to practice, basically. Just his leadership right now is insanely valuable. So, I think if anybody is going to help the team turn the corner, and they do need to turn the corner versus the Tennessee Titans, it's going to be the leadership of JPP, him coming in, really getting the troops riled up and really getting some things going, especially on that defensive side of the ball. But guys, that's it for this preview. Let me know what you think about all of this down in the comment section below. What do you think about the Tennessee Titans and their offense and their defense and quarterback Ryan Tannehill and running back Derrick Henry? I like running back Derrick Henry. I think he's a very darn good running back. What do you think about JPP potentially returning? What do you think about Jameis Winston and just the team as a whole trying to rebound after the bye week? What do you think about this game being a must-win game? If the Buccaneers don't win this game, what do you think is going to happen for the rest of the season? Let me know what you think about all of this down in the comment section below. I hope you all enjoyed the video, but guys, until the next video or the next live stream, I'll see you guys in the next one. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.